I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, I'm back down in the basement messing with this turret again, and I wasn't really going to record because I don't think I have enough material to make an episode, but I don't know, I'm going to hit record just in case what I do here actually works. Got low expectations, but you just never know. So I first came down here and started with testing continuity of this outermost ring. And I will show you one moment. In case you haven't been following along, the issue I'm having with my turret mechanism is that it just never seems to land on the home position. So it just spins around and ends up wherever it feels like at that moment. So I thought this ring here, this outermost ring, someone repaired the little gap here because there's a bit of an amber substance that's kind of bridging this gap. And I thought, well, maybe it's conductive and maybe this ring has conductivity all the way around, and maybe that's the issue. So I took my multimeter out and I tested that. Let me get something small here. Solder should work. So I put one lead of my multimeter on the ring here, and I put the other lead right in the middle of the gap. And I concluded that there was not conductivity, so that's a good thing. And so I moved on to other things. So basically what I did next was I took my multimeter. I need like a pointing stick. What are we going to use? This? Sure. And my headlamp kind of gets in the way when I try and tuck my head into the friggin' turret. So I'm going to remove that. So next thing I did was measure continuity from, this is not the outermost ring, but I'm not going to move this just yet, but let's just pretend this finger is on the outermost ring. So I'm testing continuity from the ring through the finger to this part of the wire, and it's fine. The weird thing that I noticed, well, weird to me, is that this orange wire here goes from the outermost ring finger to guess which? Finger 11. Because this is ring 12 and this is finger 11. So, as you can see, this wire here, it doesn't go up into the harness. Hi Ellie, I know you want to go outside. You've been telling me for an hour now, but that open window is going to have to suffice for now. All right, thank you. Okay. This wire goes from finger 12 to finger 11. Nowhere else. So, I checked continuity. Sure enough, ring 11 and 12 are connected. All the other wires go up into this harness through this connector. But ring 12 does go to here, this connector here. And so I thought, like, where is the continuity going from? So it's going from finger 11 to finger 12, and then it comes out here. And then I also had continuity from pin 1 to pin 12. I thought I didn't, and I thought, well, maybe I actually really do need to install this capacitor, and that's what ties these two things together. I thought I was onto something. So I installed this capacitor. It had some short legs, so I just added a wire here, and you know, it's installed, and it should be okay. I haven't tested anything yet. So, hey, who knows? Maybe it's Murphy's Law, and Just a matter of installing the component that was missing in the first place. Occam's razor, is that what they call it? Also, if you haven't been following along, this is not original, nor is this wire being tied into the general illumination circuit. The originality stops here and here. These two wires are pin 1 and 12 on that connector, and it would have originally went directly to this relay, which, you know, I'm assuming that they did all this because this wasn't working, but let's see. Are these available? What is it? It's hard to read. Oh, here we go. Starting to get somewhere. Is this the same relay that they use in like Bally Stern solenoid driver boards? Here's a part number. What does that say? 43 volt. A41. Ellie. Holy. She is squawky. Anyway. Maybe I revert all this back to normal and replace that relay if needed. Okay, so I installed the capacitor, testing continuity, trying to figure stuff out, and then I was just on the old laptop checking the YouTubes and check this out. In my last video, this is still here from my last video, I showed how people could donate a thanks to the channel. Said, hey, buy me a beer or buy me 500. And, well, I've already got a couple beers worth. Check it out. I have to give Rob W4442 a Shenanigander thank you for the donation. He says, keep up the great work. A little something from the USA. That is very much appreciated. I can't believe you Shenaniganders, within a matter of minutes, have already started hitting up a couple super thanks. So, thank you very much. That is awesome. And also, we got HL20 donated what looks like 10 pounds. I got 10 US dollars and 10 pounds and 7 Australian dollars. This is kind of fun. I like collecting all currencies. And he says, thanks for all the entertainment, Mike. Have a beer on me. Well, that is awesome. 10 pounds will probably buy me a friggin' 6-pack. So I'll put that definitely to good use. And then somewhere, hold on one second. You guys are hilarious. I'm trying to find a specific comment, and I'm finding these other comments. Sounded like you went to Taco Bell already at timestamp 30:05. Yeah, that was preliminary action. It was just a warm-up. And let's see, Damon Huffman says, where did it go? That has to be the leppiest Playfield repair I've ever seen. Putting that quarter in there was money, pun intended. Great job on the sticker. I found myself holding my breath with you when you placed it. Oh, that was my coin door decal. And what was the other comment? Hold on. Triple Effect says, quarter in the cab getting put to good use. I always seem to find literally 1 quarter in every cabinet that I restore. So indeed, that is the case on this one. Anyway, so this comment here threw me on a bit of a tangent. Where are my glasses? Oh, here they are. This is also from HL20NB. This is another great episode. Thank you. If you spin the turret so the contact is in the gap of the outer ring where you think the home position should be, is the turret then pointing up like it should? If not, undo the screws on the shaft, spin it until it's pointing up and lock into position, then try. Probably won't fix it as it seems to stop randomly for some reason, but you will know it is then locked into the correct position. That is brilliant, and I just did that. So Let's see if I can show you my finger 12. Let's see, maybe from this position here. It's hard to capture this because there's so much crap in the way. There you go. You can see finger 12 is right in the amber gap. All right, so that's supposed to be home. And then I loosened these two guys, the set screw on the other side, and then I turned the turret so that it is in home position. And then I tightened the crap out of it. It does not land on the flat portion of the shaft for whatever reason, but in theory, this is set to home position, and if things were working properly, then this should fall into place. Don't know about all this, but with all that in mind, we're going to put the Playfield down and see what happens. Okay, before I do that, I should read what David Weston said, because we've been chatting, and he's got some good ideas here. Let's see what he says here. Okay, so the gap in the outermost ring, pin 12, of the turret PCB does appear to suggest a home position. If you lift the Playfield and power the machine on, can you confirm that the turret rotation stops when pin 12 reaches the gap? I haven't really actually checked that, so I'm going to do that. Does it stop on its own anywhere else? Yeah, let's find that. Let's find out once I turn on the machine where it actually lands. A slight possibility that you may have to disassemble the turret unit again. Yay! And re-clean the PCB. Light application of very fine sandpaper. Wipe down with alcohol and reapply dielectric grease. I definitely did all that once. I hope to not have to do that again. If you can stop squawking. Why are you so squawky? Jamie must be outside. She wants to join her. Okay, where was I? If you can run a continuity check on the pin 12 track and confirm that the gap doesn't beep. Yeah, I think that is the test I did already. I'm just trying to think of all the different points of contact, what I tested, and if there's anything I missed. If possible, remove the upper turret assembly and try running the machine with the motor, PCB, and fingerboard only, again, to confirm where the motor stops upon power-up. Yeah, that would be easy enough to do. Those two set screws, and I can remove, and the one connector. I can remove the whole turret assembly portion. Once you're satisfied that you're getting consistent rotation and a stopping position, it should then be a relatively simple matter to align the turret to the desired home position using the two set screws. Okay, so basically what I have done has achieved what Dave Weston is suggesting. So I went about it a little different, but I think I achieved the same result. So, let's see what happens. Recording will be stopped and saved when you answer call. I didn't see any call come in. Well, let me end the recording and see what's happening. Alright, let's have a look at this turret. Ellie, what are you doing in there? You're checking out the turret too? Alright, well, you're probably going to get cat hair all over my dielectric grease and or dielectric grease all over your pretty little fur. So why don't you come out and hopefully give me the seal of approval, because I'm about to turn this thing on, and you don't want to be in there when I do that. Okay, let's go. Thank you. Okay, with the capacitor installed and the turret in most likely the correct position mechanically, let's see what happens. Very, very low hopes. I can never get the height adjusted right on this thing. Well, that is nowhere near home. Let's have a look at the fingerboard and see where it actually landed. Alright, let's see. Finger 12 is way over there. that has zero relation to the home position. It's kind of hard to see, but you know where it is. Right there. In the easternmost part of the ring. So, yeah, how does that make any sense? How about I turn the machine off and on just to see if it decides to change? Just curious as to what the method is behind this madness. Why are you landing where you're landing? Do you just turn for a few seconds? That's actually close to home, but I have a feeling if I turn it off and on, it may just end up in some other random position. So let's see what happens. Oh, really? It didn't even fully boot up there before it started turning. Interesting. That's twice that it's landed very close. Maybe once it senses that there's no continuity, the signal stops, but the momentum of the motor kind of is just spinning a little bit. That's interesting. So you know what I mean? Like, you can't just stop it on a dime. Let's start a game. See what happens. Jim from the Sanctum says, yes, it's definitely supposed to be north, and that all three of these lanes, in theory, should feed the turret. Let's launch this thing. Did you notice that? The turret ended up back in close to home. That's fascinating. Okay, let's launch and then see what happens. I thought after you launch the ball, it should go back home. Oh. Now it is not. Okay. That's going to be end of the game. Pretty sure the normal behavior from a video I saw on the internet is that as soon as you fire the ball, it goes back home. So, didn't seem to do that. Let's try again. So, it just stops. It almost seems like we've got sort of like 50-50, like a 40% resolution, 50% resolution, but I'm not going to chalk it up to any resolution at all. Let's just drain out all three. Let's start a new game just for fun, see what happens. No, that's definitely not right. Okay, one last thing. Let's just turn it off and on. You know, if I can't figure this out, you've got a lot of smart shenaniganders out there that may be able to chime in, that are already chiming in. See, like at the beginning of the game, it's seemingly kind of starting to figure stuff out. During the middle of the game, not so much. But, yeah, I don't know what to make of all that. Okay, I'm back. I am going to just wrap up for now. I'll be back. I'm going to Ontario Pinfest tomorrow for the weekend. So I'm going to deal with this next week and see if I have any success. So we'll see you after the weekend. What creature lurks in the hostas? It is the hosta monster. Where's the hosta monster? Ha! I'm onto you. I'm onto you, you little monster.
Yeah, they were.
Whoa, it's very deadly. Alright, something very random here. Check this out. I just was looking at a Facebook memory here that just popped up. This is when we were in British Columbia, maybe last year or the year before, and ran into this random store in Invermere, BC, called Shenanigans. But look who the host is. It's a friggin' pineapple. It's Mr. Pineapple Shenanigans. How crazy is that? Okay, back in the basement. I was away at Ontario Pinfest for the weekend. It is now Tuesday, and back to Forked Rivers for some more pinball tonight. So it's going to take me a month to produce this one episode of Viper. So I really got to try and wrap this up, tidy up some loose ends, and get this video done, because I'm leaving again shortly for another vacation. So I have little time to deal with this Viper. Oh, check this out. I needed my cart that was underneath Viper for my X-Files, because I've got that sold. And it's all packed up and ready to go. And I needed my cart to lower it out of that space, but I forgot that it was currently being occupied by Viper, so I had to throw in the legs, and they look pretty damn good if you ask me. New leg levelers and leg bolts. And, you know, I lifted the hood, and I think I'm going to be able to finish whatever I need to do on this machine without having to put it back on the cart. I'll have a little bit limited range, but I think I can make it work. So that's the good news. But yeah, how good looking is that? I'm happy with that. This leg bolt, the leg T on the other side is stripped on the bottom bolt, so I'm going to replace that. But the rest of the leg T's are in good shape. Okay, so brief summary. Brought back some goodies from Ontario Pinfest. This is the coolest item of them all. I won a 3 strikes tournament on the Sunday. 34 players. And got me this. King Kong, I believe that's a premium translite. So I had a couple people kind of like asking if I wanted to sell it. Al Tomka, Steve Verstegen, I don't know if they were serious, but I was kind of just looking online like, oh, how much are these things even worth? And I didn't even find them. They're not available yet. So I'm just going to hang on to that for now. Pretty stoked about that result. I don't know how many whoppers I'll get for that, but you know, I'm trying to crack the top 100 this year, and I'm at about 120 right now, so we'll see what happens. Okay, what else do I got in the bag? John Charest won a little silent auction for a bunch of cookies, and he gave me one. Oh, my little pinballs are falling off, but eat, sleep, pinball, repeat. Pretty cool. I've got me the pinball spot sticker. I believe that is the guy who ran the tournament, Mario, the pinball doctor. That might be his location. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. I also found this cool pop bumper cap that I don't have for my pop bumper wall. Julie won one of these silent auctions. She won like 8 ratchet straps. Decent quality ones, it looks like. I think these are, you know, self-retracting or whatever, but she gave pretty much one to all the fellow shenaniganders, so that's also in my goodie bag. Oh, this Yeg pin thing, that it was in my bag that I brought. That's just leftovers from Yeg. What is this? Oh, that's for the ratchet strap. Oh, multimorphic P3 plastic. There was a P3 machine there. Look at that, final resistance keychain. Cool. I'll find a home for. holographic P3 sticker, another pinball spot decal, and I'm excited to try these out. These are 3D printed Playfield jacks, or props, or whatever you want to call them. There is a company that makes these called Pinhoist. These are not actually Pinhoist, but I think Pinhoist provides these files for your printing pleasures. You got a bit of a softer material in here, hard material on the outside. They go on the Playfield on the cabinet like so, and then you rest your Playfield on it. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. I've never used these before. I'm excited about them. I think they're going to be clutch, and I'll demo those in a minute here. But also, this is for Viper. I've got, well, these are not, but 100 post cap rubbers. I thought they were actually going to be rubber. These are silicone, so I guess I'm morphing over to very white silicone from rubber. I think all the companies seem to be doing that. Maybe Pinball Resource still doing actual rubber, but I think these were Pinball Life. Anyway, these are what I'm most excited about. Black flipper bats. And pair those up with my gray flipper rubbers that I got from Mana Pinball. Hopefully this looks pretty cool. Let's throw one on here. Get a bit of an idea of what that's going to look like. Yep, I think that's going to look pretty killer. And I think maybe that's what I'll just do for the rest of this episode. Install those flipper bats and call it. And then do a fresh start when I get back. Mess with that turret a little more. Let's check out how these Playfield props work. Oh, and why do you ask? Are mine pink? It's because someone posted that they were going to be able to print these and bring them to the show. And I said, oh, I'm interested. And she said, what color does everybody want? And Rob Noel chimed in and said, Mike definitely wants pink. And I said, yes, I do. Pink power, let's go. So she made me a pink set, and that's why they're pink. Okay, so this is not what they're for exactly. But you know how you want to get at these back screws, and you can't? These were going to work for modern machines too, but we'll demonstrate on the Viper what I normally do when I want to pull the machine forward. Let's throw you on the old tripod here. I've got pipe insulation, so I normally just bring the machine forward and rest it on that. It's not the most ideal scenario, but that's what I've been doing for my whole life, basically. So now, let's see what's going on here. I gotta lift. All right, check that out. Now, this is a much better solution than pipe insulation. Not going to damage any components. Oh, I got my flipper bats barely touching. See, that's really close. I don't love how close all this stuff is. You got to watch out for that next time, because I could have mushed some stuff. So you got to be really careful. But you can see that I have great access to the back of the Playfield now, and it's stable and it's secure. You can also use these on the back of the Playfield. You can use them in the front, use them in the back. Let's see what they look like on the back. Actually, I got another set coming. So if you are interested in a set, my buddy Tyler might be able to hook you up. He's 3D printing all kinds of good stuff lately. And he can print your logo, he can print your sports team, he can print pretty much anything. And he's turning them into little light boxes about, I don't know, maybe they're about yay big. So they're illuminated. I'll throw in a photo or something. I'm getting him to do my Pinball Shenanigans logo, and he sent me a little preliminary photo, and it looks pretty awesome. So that's like 40 bucks Canadian for pretty much anything you want done in a little mini light box, unless it's a little more intricate, like my logo, it's going to be like $50 or something. So he can probably also print these, and you know, if you want me to put you in touch with them, then let me know. But I'm getting another set off of him. And then I could even have like a set on the front and the back if needed. I guess if I jack up the back of the Playfield, that's gonna potentially pose a problem. Maybe what I really need to do is come out way further. Let's try that, hold on. Okay, so I pulled the Playfield over the little hump here, rested it back down here, and great access to the back of the cabinet, back of the Playfield, and yep, seems to be okay. And now my components, you just got to be careful where you set the Playfield. I'm right in between the flippers and the pop bumpers, I mean the slingshots, so just watch where you're setting it down. But it's pretty handy, right? So let me try and do this on the back end now. Okay, well, this isn't the greatest demonstration of these Playfield jacks, but I did just put my installation here, so you can picture if I had another Playfield jack there and another one here, that that would be handy. So different applications, different systems, different machines. I think in the sample photo I saw on the internet, it's like a modern stern. So if you really need to get the back of your modern stern, these will be handy. So I'm looking forward to using these. Also, I did some shout outs earlier in the video, and I've got some more shout outs to give out because since the weekend, I've got a $2 donation, a super thanks from Casey Carp. So thanks, dude, for that. I will put that to use tonight at Forked River. And also, we've got Adam Barron from Virginia Beach, who bought a Pinball Shenanigans decal, so shout out. Also got Todd Bazuma, who grabbed a few decals, so shout out to Todd. And he's from, I can't read my own writing here, what does that say? Monala, Virginia? 2 Virginias back to back. And he says he watches the channel all the time. Thanks, keep up the great work. So thank you, brother. And one more shout out to Overkill Pinball, who bought a Pinball Shenanigans decal and says, love your channel, will proudly display the decal in my games room. And he also says something about that he wishes the Mr. Pineapple Shenanigans was on the sticker too. Alright, so here's how things are looking. Got the flipper bats and rubbers installed. Very happy with my alignment thus far. And the overall look. Gray on black. Got this guy done. Got just the right amount of up and down play on these guys. Not quite an 1/8, like a 16th. Let them be free and non-bindy. And things are starting to shape up here. Just gotta, when I turned it on, the turret found that position, which is pretty close to home. So I don't know if that was just a fluke, but this is going to be a good spot to wrap things up. And then next episode, we'll bust out the back glass, the highlight of this machine, and we will actually do some play testing with flippers. So that'll be cool. Anyways, feel like it's been a friggin' month for this video to come together. So we're going to wrap this up, and there shall be more pineapple shenanigans on the next episode. Okay, I just wanted to add a little addendum to this video. Did the Forked River Pinball Tournament last night. We had 17 players, and yours truly took it down. And I won this pretty sweet King Kong framed poster. And more importantly, me and Sean have this sort of mono a mono battle going back and forth because on the IFPA stats, player versus player, we're like so close to each other. It's like 60 wins for him versus 60 wins for me. And we just kind of keep, piggybacking each other, leapfrogging each other. But Shawnee Boy got second, I got first. So another tick for the good guys. But I wanted to, because I was mentioning about my buddy Tyler's 3D printing stuff and how I was getting a Pinball Shenanigans logo made. Well, earlier I was mentioning how, like, kind of the size of them. And I thought that they were like, all the things that he was making were maybe around this size, but that was the photos he posted. I just didn't have perspective. I got my Pinball Shenanigans thing, and not only is it friggin' awesome, it's way bigger than I thought. It was like 3 times bigger. So he made this little stand, and it goes like that. And now we just gotta plug it in. I haven't seen what it looks like plugged in yet. Yeah, let's get a head-on look here. How cool is that? So he can make these, like I said, for $50 for intricate logos, and $40 for all your generic logos and your teams and your sports and your whatever. You can make anything. And then this was a mistake. Had a little bit of yellow here instead of gray. I'm like, don't worry about it, dude. He's like, no, sorry, already printing a new one. So I said, I'll keep the old one. I'll hang that somewhere or do something with it. And he also printed me my second set of Playfield jacks. That's basically it. That's my addendum. Reach out to Tyler Green on Facebook Messenger if you want any of this goodness. But yep. That's officially a wrap. One more shout out. I almost forgot. I got this back glass at the Ontario Pinfest show from Mike Hanley. And basically he wanted $50 for it, but he gave it to me for $20 and a $30 donation going to the channel. So shout out to Mike Hanley for the rad Stern Lightning back glass with some crazy art.